Okay, so we're going to go into a brief lesson today. Uh, and the title of this lesson, kind of in conjunction and in sync with some of the things we were discussing, is going to be truth with thy brother. Truth with thy brother. And obviously it speaks for itself. Truth with our brother, truth with our sister, uh, and in even more so, more even, it said we use that word truth, but it's speaking on more than just honesty. We're going to kind of deal with walking, uh, living side by side, operating amongst each other, the love for the brother and sisterhood of each other. Because at the end of the day, the Most High's word boils down to us knowing how to operate with each other. He said, how can you say you love me when you got a brother that you can see and talk to and touch, and you can't even treat him right? Right? It's important. It seems simple. It seems like a simple ideal. Oh, yeah, true. Okay, yeah, everybody knows that. But we need to. It is a simple idea too. But what we need to make sure of is that it's applied all the time. Like in our daily here and there's and walks, and our hourly walk and movement, that we can become more and more balanced and pure in that connection and relationship with each other. You know, so that's what we're gonna be talking about. The proper way to love our brother in a social sense. Not in a uptight. I'm in the tabernacle church. In a day to day, the way we live and walk as children of the Most High. And especially in this world, uh, in a satanic, capitalistic, materialistic world, where that's not what we've been taught. So it's you know it's for us to relearn as a people in a lot of ways, in a major sense, even coming out of different religions or from the church. That's not necessarily the way we've been taught, and we've been actually conditioned otherwise. So let's start with Leviticus chapter 19 verse 11.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
Okay, again, it's these are simple ideas. These are the simplest ideas that we teach our children. 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old babies. These are the same ideas and things that we are looking to teach them. um, but let's not lose sight and focus of the gravity and importance of these simple things. We got to understand these are oracles, laws, statutes, and commandments from the Most High God of all creation. Like, these are things that He gave to us in particular as His people, along with all the other laws and statutes that He gave us. These are words from the Most High Himself. So there's a heavy and a gravity to these things, especially when it comes to in all ways, being truthful and honest with each other. One of the chief things we are commanded to do with each other is to be truthful with each other in all manners. You can't build a steadfast society off of lies. That's like when we're looking to build. You know what I mean? Like, how can there be these things be built with a shaky foundation? If we are to build this kingdom, we must abide by these commandments. Let's move. Stay there in Leviticus chapter 19. Go to verse 35.
Yes, sir. Verse 35. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat yard, in weight, or in measure.
Mm-hmm.
Just balances, just weights, a just ephah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, I mean, truth is more than just, oh, I told him the truth. It's dealing righteously with each other. This is talking about measurements and judgment. Whether you're doing business with somebody, you exchanging goods with somebody, you know, just being charitable to your neighbor and different things. It's talking about a measure of equality and fairness, not to look to tip the scale towards yourself on every hand and every opportunity you get. We all have known and came across people like that in our life. Like, man, every time this brother see a chance to get over, like, he own you. You got to watch. You know, we can't be dealing like that. We gotta, just because I see, oh, he don't understand how this work. I could go ahead and take an extra 5 right there. That's dealing falsely. We got to be able to deal in equity with each other, equally in truth, right? Go ahead.
A just ephah and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Most High your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Right. Again, so this is the Most High speaking this unto us, the Most High God of all gods, the power who brought us, who brings us in and out of wherever we may go, let alone out of the great empire of Egypt. He's the creator of all. He's the one who moves and shifts us about and who is going to be moving and taking care of us into these days that we are in. Knowing, as we read, though, we'll get to that, the importance of dealing righteously and truthfully to find favor and with the Most High. You know, um, every aspect of life must be met with the same standard of honesty when dealing with your brother. If you are a baker in the society or a produce seller, your prices should be fair and affordable for all. The same applies if you are a judge in matters between brothers. All judgment must be fair and balanced. Let's get Micah. We'll go to Micah chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 10.
Micah chapter 6, verse 10. Are there yet the treasures?
Give him just a second to find this up. It's going to be right toward the back of the Old Testament. Micah chapter 6, verse 10.
So y'all ready? Micah chapter 6, verse 10. Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights?
Right. So he's saying, should I say that because you have gathered all these wicked treasures that, counted as pure, or have it to have any merit or value? Like, just because you have all this wicked treasure stored up because you've been getting over, charging extra or taxing or stealing or whatever you're doing, what do you really have? Like, what do you have but a bunch of death and blood in your treasure? Go ahead.
Verse 13.
No, 12, I think.
Verse
Right.
12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence,
Mm-hmm.
and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth.
Right. So he's saying, This is the way that you've gotten these things, illfully, not righteously or through truth. You're being violent, taking from others. You're speaking lies. You're tricking and conniving different people out of their things. Your tongue is deceitful in your mouth. Go ahead, verse 13.
Therefore also will I make thee sick, and smiting thee, and making thee desolate because of thy sins.
What people don't understand, doing these things in error, looking to build up treasure through wicked ways, is it's working against you. It's not a true treasure. It's not true wealth. Even though you may hold these things for a time. What the Most High says, therefore also I will make thee sick in smiting thee and making thee desolate because of your sin, because of you doing unrighteously. I'm going to make you desolate. I'm going to take everything that you have gained unrighteously and smite you. We're going to get detail on this here going forward. Let's get first, let's go to Proverbs chapter 11 and start at verse 1. You know, most of the time, I won't say most of the time, a lot of the time, oftentimes, those who are well off and blessed with all manner of materialistic things of our people see themselves as some great thing, right? The manner in which you acquired those values is the real question. Did you have to sell out your own brothers and sisters and the core principles that the Father gave us to do so? Our people become famous for this, therefore our Father put us through all manner of destruction. I mean, and this is, I'm speaking to, you know, kind of even how we were and the reason we fail as a people, you know, looking to become vain, because we were a great people. I mean, and we still are. I mean, we're on at a lowly level in a lowly estate, but we were at one point the kings and queens of the earth. And the reason we were brought to a low level is because of our dealing unrighteously, right? And it pertains, you know, it pertains as much today as it did then. Let's get Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Most High, but a just weight is his delight.
Okay, so we see here an abomination, and we know that no abomination will enter the kingdom. When the Most High, again, that false balance, when you look at that in the Hebrew, it's speaking of like that scale of balance is off weight to where things are not equitable, things are not even. Like I'm not dealing righteously with you. And he says a false balance, and however we want to look at it, you know, being trickful, being violent, lying is an abomination. We're to deal righteously with each other. But a just weight is a delight, is his delight. Let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 6. Kind of giving some more understanding and wisdom on, you know, what is, you know, this false balance and how we should or shouldn't deal with each other. Yeah. That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 6.
Verse 6. That no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter, because that the Most High is the avenger of all.
Right. So we have to know not to go above or beyond a level of truth when dealing with each other or defraud, because the Most High is the avenger of all. The Most High sees all. We're not getting by, even in this world, even in this time. Let alone the everlasting and in the kingdom and the time to come. But that same person we spoke of, who you know, every time they get a chance, they looking to get over. Watch how they never can get ahead. even though every time they get a chance, they getting over and looking to take and sneak and grab from somebody else.
That's right.
Go ahead.
The Most High is the avenger of all, such as we also have forewarned you and testified. For the Most High have not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness. He therefore that despise.
So there in verse 7, for the Most High have not called us. We know here, you know, we were called into this truth, called into a true understanding of the scripture and who we are as a people and returning to the Father. We were not called, it's deeper than just knowing we Israel. We were not called into this truth to come amongst our brothers and sisters in truth and operate untruthfully. Look to sow discord. That's what he's saying. The Most High have not called us unto uncleanliness, but he called us for us to learn and understand how we are to operate and actually apply it. Take that shirt, that jacket, and put it on. Wear it. Walk in it all the time, every day. These things are a process. You know what I mean? Because even as simple as walking and working and dealing truthfully with each other, as simple as that is, that whole idea, we all have work to do concerning it. You know what I mean? Like we all can improve and do better and make sure we act. So we've got to really own it. Make sure that when we hearing the word come forth and we're reading out of the scriptures or we're studying or we're learning, that we take these things, especially in the day and times that we're in, and apply them to ourselves. We were not called for uncleanliness, but unto holiness. Right? Let's get Colossians, and we'll go to chapter 3, verse 9.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 9. Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds.
Right. So being called, we are looking to put off the old man with the deeds of the old man. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. And now put on the new man,
Mm-hmm.
which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
That's right. Renewed in the knowledge and understanding after the Most High who have created us. One of the key core things where brothers and sisters fall short is their honesty towards each other. For example, if you don't agree with the core teachings of doctrine of the church, there's no need to tear down in secret. And this is an example that happens so often. If there are such problems, go to the elders over the church and state your desire to leave or state your discrepancies, Um, and if there be any other offense amongst brethren, let it be handled in the same manner. What it's speaking of is, you know, we because see that's what I'm saying. It's more than just, oh, I don't tell lies. It's dealing with each other, being honest with each other, knowing, and we're gonna get that next. Knowing, like, if I have a problem with my brother, it's not truthful, righteous, equitable, or balanced to, instead of coming to my brother and saying, brother, I have a problem. I have this issue. I feel this kind of way. I think I feel that you offended me this way. I feel that things maybe should have been done this way. We you know This is a way to nip so many things right in the bud before they can become a huge schism or division or problem. Uh, in going straight to our brother. And let's go ahead and read that before I even continue. Let's get Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he,
So, if we have a trespass amongst each other, or I'll go back to the example I mentioned before. If there's a misunderstanding in doctrine, instead of going outside of where the issue is and looking to, um, create a division, going and saying, "Oh well, I know this is what's being taught, but I believe something different," and looking to go speak to others in the body, where it can start a dividing. Come to the elders, the heads of the church, and say, I disagree, and we'll let then the scriptures can speak. Then we'll go to the scriptures and let the scriptures speak. If there's a correction that needs to be made, then the correction can be made with the body intact. The same thing with dealing with one another as individuals. If I have a problem with my brother, I shouldn't go and say, "Man, do you guess what so and so did to me?" You know, looking to tear down, looking to grab a army to then go against and get ready to go and persecute the brother. Because now I done told this brother, well, yeah, he did so and so. Man, really? I can't believe that. So now I got me and this brother feeling some kind of way about somebody, and both ready to go, at this brother. Yes, sister. You're 100% right. You are not. You just that doesn't sound like a conversation for me. It sounds like you need to be having that conversation with that brother. I think you should go talk to them. You shouldn't receive it. You're right, sister. You don't receive it. Nobody's call it. Trust me. People are not gonna call me and saying, "Hey, D, man, guess what?" So and because they know I'm like, it sound like you need to go have a conversation with that brother. You talking to the wrong person. You're 100% right. Go to them. So
that's what the devil about division,
that's right. That's right. Because now, you know what? It may be very true that the brother really did me wrong, right? And he was wrong. But we can't allow that to be an opportunity for us to stumble. And what I'm saying is, just now, because this brother has wrongfully did me, I'm gonna in turn stumble myself because I'm gonna go and do wrong to him, create a division, do wrong to the brother I'm about to go speak to, do wrong to all of the brothers it get to because I spoke to him and I speak to whoever else I speak to, and then they speak to somebody. I can't division. That's what we're talking about when dealing with our brothers in truth. We can replace that with dealing with our brothers in love, learning how to operate with each other. And again, these are some of those base and low, simple understandings, but they are so vitally important. We have to learn how to do these things. You know, uh, Especially at the times that we're going into, where we're going to be all that we have. We've got to learn how to operate with one another. Truthfully, truthfully. It's such a
no matter how minute the problem is, discuss it with that brother first.
discuss it with the brother. Discuss it with the brother. Be fair with the brother. You know, man. When we start and make sure we grasp the hold of these simplest things, that's where we're gonna see the Most High start to move.
Yeah.
We coming out of a very simple place as a people. I mean, the Most High turned us over, and we were under the hand of our enemy, and intentionally. I mean, look at where we are. Look at our people. You know what I mean? And but I'm just pointing that out to say we got to make a conscious effort in purifying and cleansing our ways and dealing with each other. That's where that strength. That's when the Most High, and we're gonna get it when He's gonna be able, and the Spirit's gonna actually be able to be with us and inhabit us, and then inhabit not only our personal body, but then inhabit the body, the church. Then that's that's power. We can't look at this as a light thing. I think you left off at 15. Yeah, go ahead and read that.
If he shall hear thee, if your brother shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
You will gain your brother. That's that interaction even that I was talking about. There was that being able to come and speak honestly and openly. It takes something. We're not used to that either, but it takes something to be, because you're like, man, we're not used to confronting and humbling ourselves, because that's what you have to do when you go and approach somebody. You don't go up to them and rah rah, you did this to me, and it's brother, we have to humble ourselves and come to somebody. And the Most High is perfect. His word isn't just saying something just because. You actually will gain a brother. You'll come into and I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again. Go into a situation where you are at odds with somebody and there's an issue, and you like, man, whatever it is, and it's just like, man, and and you at odds, you and this person. Then Matthew 18 and 15 is carried out. You go and speak to that person. Man, I have seen it time and time again. You come out of that situation tighter with that person than it's the spirit. You come out of that situation and you will gain a brother. You will gain a sister. Go to them in honesty and truth. So it says, if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Verse 16.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Right. So that's self-explanatory. If it's not heard, take 2 or 3 witnesses so that every word is established. Verse 17.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
Right. Let's get let's go to Psalms chapter 31.
So when you say get 2 or 3 witnesses, does that mean go and say I tried to reconcile with this brother, but he won't hear me? Maybe he'll hear you, and then they go to him.
The way what that means, and to be specific, what the best way to handle this is going to be to look to go get an elder or a deacon to come to help mediate. And it's it isn't a situation where you want to go and say, okay, brother, let me tell you what happened. This guy did this to me or whatever. Because it's better that the issue is not dealt with from one perspective. It's better that, hey, there's this issue. Me and the brother or me and the sister spoke. We got together. We weren't able to really come to an understanding of clarity together. We think it'll be better if we can bring this together where we can deal with this together. And then we come together and discuss the situation. That's specifically what it's talking about there. Okay? Good question.